What is going on, folks? It is the No Salt Allowed podcast. We're still at the starting screen. My next guest is very excited. He's already waving his hands in the air. The doc is in, or shall I say the third placer of the Rev Major 2021 tournament. Rev Major Lockdown, third placer of the Street Fighter 5 tournament. We have none other than everyone's friend, the lovable Doc Jimmy. Doc, how are you feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling amazing. It's 2022. The Lunar New Year has come. I feel like a new man.
Hey, okay, new beginnings, new adventures. We have a lot to talk about. We have to talk about your road to Rev Lockdown. There was a lot of ups and downs. I would have to say you did give an amazing performance. I remember like that whole top 8 was insane. I don't know if you heard like on the stream, I dropped my notes at one point because of Damsky. So much clutch Umeshoryu is insane stuff. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But first of all, ladies and gentlemen, No Salt Allowed podcast is growing. We have a clothing sponsor, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Pew, 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 pew. If you guys noticed, the camera's flipped. I'll fix it next time. But big shout outs to Steady Threads Clothing. They're indie clothing company. Shout outs to the Lightbringer Cuatro for messaging me about it. Good vibes and geek culture and more. They are our clothing partner here on the No Salt Allowed. And I was just showing Doc Jimmy the drip that they have. Look at that. Boom. Look at that. Wave dashing. I remember I gave one to Harada. I hope Harada has that somewhere. We got also the Tekken 3 King, the one that's at the back.
Roll it.
And I think this one has Doc Jimmy's name on it. Boom. There we go.
It is right there.
How do you throw a fireball? That's how, ladies and gentlemen. It's at Steady Threads Clothing on Instagram and on Facebook. It's Steady Threads Clothing. Please give them a follow. Check out their stuff. They have a lot of geek merch as well, and they support the FGC. There's so much love and care with how they make these clothing brands. So in future episodes, please, you will see me wear a lot of these clothing, and I will send some to Doc Jimmy, and who knows, maybe giveaways will be happening. So I see Doc Jimmy is repping the PBE jersey. Able to rep that well.
Shirt.
I just want to make it sound super legit, right?
This is like the second shirt we ever got from PlayBook before we got the jersey.
The jerseys look really comfy, can I just say. I wanted to order one. I didn't think we could order one, but it looked really cool. The black and red colors. You were repping that. Yeah, were you wearing that while you were competing in the Street Fighter tournament for Rev Major?
I was. It helps me get into that zone. Like, yeah. I mean, it's an online tournament. It's not necessarily at an event, but it's part of my ritual on tournament day. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I also have like a ritual before casting. Like I have to listen to certain songs, get in the zone, do homework, obviously. So I have to ask, what was the ritual getting into this one? Because it was a pretty interesting tournament, and I know we have to talk about like a status that you posted, but was it business as usual in the qualifiers for you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I did post that Rev would be my last event. No specifics.
Okay, that's good. We'll leave it at that.
No specifics.
Leave it at that. Mm-hmm.
But like, given that that was kind of like my ultimatum for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I really like trained hard. I played as many people as I could. I was working on my fundamentals. I was working on my mindset. Like I was really preparing, and heck, I was even beating Don in casuals, so I was super confident.
Let's go! Shout outs to Don, by the way, the first placer. So I know that you were like a man on a mission with this one, right? We even had a quick call about it, and you really wanted to go all out if it is. I mean, you did post that status, and I don't know. I would never say never. Like maybe just take a break for a bit. But I have to ask: is this the last in a while, or are you coming back sometimes? How did you feel after you got the results?
I'm more on a hiatus.
Okay.
Like Rev was going to be my last event for the year of 2021. Spoilers.
Okay.
Because I was scheduled to do another event, but it didn't push through. So
darn.
Kind of my status stuck, right? So like, yeah, it was literally my last event
Boom.
of the year because I was supposed to do ESGS with Aim High.
Okay.
Yeah, but they were all in-house. You guys
Mm-hmm.
were in-house. Of course, I couldn't fly to Manila because of all the
Conditions.
COVID stuff.
Right.
Um, but yeah, leading up to Rev, I felt really good. Like there were times when me and Don would jump into Discord, right,
Mm-hmm.
and we'd play first to threes, and I beat him in the first one. I said, "You're in losers." And then we
Oh,
run it
wow.
back.
Uh-huh.
We run it back. He beats me, and he's like, "Grand finals
Grand
reset."
finals reset. Let's go.
Then
Okay,
we run
okay.
it back, and
Uh,
then I won. I said, "I'm the Red Major champion,
that's it. Done. Like
boy."
you don't have
Like,
to. Yeah, I don't need to go on Sunday anymore. This was it. This was the grand finals. I win. Don, take that. Jesus.
yeah, like I mean, during casuals, I was a champion, so I still felt fine. So good.
I would have to say that you had a tough bracket ahead of you because you started out in winners at least, but your first task was
Yeah.
against James. Like, holy cow.
Uh,
Last year's winner.
he was
Well,
second place in the
2018's winner.
previous
Yeah,
year. Yeah,
2018's my bad.
2018 winner,
Mm-hmm.
2019 second
Second placer.
placer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was daunting for me mentally because I think when was this? Probably before Southeast Asian Major. Before Southeast Asian Major 2017,
Mm-hmm.
uh, James was wiping the floor with me every time we played.
He was a
Like,
force to be reckoned with. Yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, I just couldn't beat him since then, right? So
Mm-hmm.
coming into this, odds weren't in my favor. Like historically, like history wasn't in my favor at
Mm-hmm.
all.
So how did that prepare you? Because it was already set right after the qualifiers, the brackets were out, and you were paired up with James right off the bat. How did you feel, and how did you prepare for that? And how can you bring in someone that to emulate James's style?
It's impossible, right?
Right?
Like preparation wise, the best you can do is really uh polish your own gameplay and hope that you don't make as many mistakes as them come game time. Uh, execution wise, James has it. James has amazing reads. James has a great feel for the game. Um, James has been like he's had my number
Mm.
for many years, but I beat him. Ha ha
Ah,
ha!
look at Doc Jimmy. Yeah, just making this a roast, guys, putting everyone on notice. That's why I brought him here. He's making all the call outs. Don, he sees you. James, he sees you. Who else you got on your list, Doc Jimmy?
I couldn't see Damsky. I could not. I could not see.
Yeah, Damsky was, I would say, he stole the show for a lot of people. I was actually
He
talking to
did.
Boss Brohan. Shout outs to him. Yeah, he was like, Damsky really gave he obviously wanted PBE to win, right? Because he's like the big boss. But Damsky, though, he was like, yo, this guy,
I mean,
he was on
yeah,
point.
like probably 2 weeks before, Red Major, I played Damsky like multiple sets,
Mm-hmm.
and I got washed. I got not just washed, but wiggity 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 washed
Okay.
by Damsky.
With the greatest
I
of
was so
ease.
frustrated. I
Mhm.
was like, oh my god, Damsky is so good,
Mhm.
right? And then well, came qualifier. He lost to Rampage. In my heart, I'll be super honest, right? In my heart, I
Mhm.
was like, oh thank God he's not in winner's side. Oh my God.
Easier road for me. Mhm.
Rampage lost to Cebu
Bilims?
player Nakali. Marky. He lost to Marky.
Okay, okay.
Austro Boy. He lost to Austro Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And he got sent to lose, and then Rampage got sent to lose. I was like, yes.
Take him out.
Rampage,
Take
Raymond,
him out.
Please take out Damsky. And I think that went down to the wire as
It did.
well. Right?
Yeah.
It did. And Damsky made it through, and I was like,
Oh
Uh-oh.
no. Overpowered supervillain coming right at you, Doc Jimmy.
And then he started taking down name after name after name in the losers bracket. I forgot. He was paired up against.
Was it Versace? No.
Yeah, I think.
Is it Versace?
I have to pull up the brackets.
Yeah, go for it. So just some context, ladies and gentlemen. Damsky just kind of came out of, well, not really out of nowhere, but out of everyone's radar when it came to this tournament because his Kage was insane. with the way he was able to take people out. Because usually it's like a PBE, just grand finals top 3. Usually you have the usual suspects. You got Bully, you got James,
Right.
Doc Jimmy, you got
Okay,
Don.
I see it now.
So
I see it now. I
yeah,
pulled up the brackets.
let's hear it.
So Dapsy was going up against Blim, right?
Yeah, Bilim.
A
Okay.
week, a week before. Shoutouts to Grow Up Esports Blim. A week before, Blim said, "Doc, I was wondering if we could practice Kage."
Okay. He knew the threat. The writing was in the wall.
Yes, I'm going to help Blim take out Damsky, right? so we played sets. I played Kage. Blim was able to like, because when I watch Damsky play, like he really knows how to abuse the dive kick. But I cannot emulate like just the way he thinks because he was so solid in his gameplay. So I was just hoping that I could teach Blim like
what to look out for.
yeah, exactly. And he actually got everything. Like he was able to anti-air the dive kicks perfectly, right? He was beating me in the sets. And I thought, okay, Blim got this. Come tournament day, Damsky just the match was pretty close. Like Blim, I believe he made it like one round apiece every single game, right? But Damsky took out Blim. I was like,
oh no. Look,
and then and the next it was Ace, right?
Oh god, Ace looked very sharp coming into the qualifiers, like from top 8. That was good, but
yeah.
Tell me about Ace though.
He switched to Karine. And his Karine is really solid. Like he switched from Birdie because Birdie had so many nerfs.
Right.
I feel really. Yeah, I miss seeing birdies. Wink, but
I tried to say that with a straight face, but anyway, yeah, going to Karine, solid Karine.
Super solid. I was like, okay, Ace got this. Ace gonna take out Damsky. I'm going to be so relieved, right? And it was super close as well, but Damsky came out on top. I was like, wow. All these big names. Damsky in top 4. Right? And then he's going up against James. I was like, okay. If there's anyone who can take out Damsky,
it's James. It's James, right? Come on. Come on.
Second place last year. First place, he beat F-Champ, right? Like all this amazing like game sense, use reactions, right? Boom, 2-0. Damsky.
Ouch, that was like, Damsky's like overpowered. I bet I could picture Doc Jimmy, like, you know, that big bad Yakuza boss that's like sending his goons out, go take him out. But no. Oh god. And shout outs to James, by the way. I was asking the different players, right? We interview people. I know I interviewed too, you two, and then I asked like, hey, so any words that you want to give to the people watching at home? You know what he said? He said, buy Dogecoin. Wait, what? James?
He's been eaten by the system.
I know. I was like, seriously? All right, cool. I'll try to drop that in there somehow. But James is a character, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully I can have him on. I was actually really nervous to have him on Brawl Day because that was the first episode, right? We had Street Fighter, it was F-Champ and James.
Yeah.
And I heard he was super quiet and all that. Then I talked to him before. Hey, you know what? Let's just have fun, dude. He was trolling everyone. This guy is so funny.
He's a natural troll. Like you think like he's this young, innocent, well-mannered kid, but
no, dude. He was. So I had shout outs to Quattro again. He's the owner of Steady Threads Clothing. I had him on as well with me on Brawl Day. He's a professional wrestler and an MMA fighter. He was picking a fight with him. He's like, "Are you sure you play this game?" I was like, "Dude, what the heck are you doing? If Quattro starts swinging, I can't help you."
Oh, that's typical James. That's James for sure. Yeah.
Shout outs to James, but. Yeah, finally I got to that moment where you were against Damsky. I have to ask, when it came to that moment where you beat James, you're like, okay, cool. Like, you got over your demon, right? The guy that had your number for many years or many times. Then Damsky comes in. How are you feeling at that moment?
I mean, after losing a close set to Dawn in winners, I was like, okay, I told Dawn, don't worry, I'll come back. Grand finals loser side, right? Like I was still confident. I was still like, if someone is going to eliminate Damsky, it has to be me, right? It has to be me. Like I've been practicing for it. I've been training for it. I'm like, let's go. I got this. I won the first round very
Yeah.
confident. Yeah, okay. I
Okay.
think I got this. But
Momentum.
no, I did not got this. I
Second
did not.
form.
It's like Damsky just he increased his power level, right?
Yeah.
He went all Zenkai mode on me and he took it 3-0. And I'll be honest, I was extremely salty after that.
Oh, you were? Oh,
I
man.
was. I was like, I really wanted to get back to grand finals. I really felt like I could beat Don on that day. And I just needed to get over the Damsky hump, right?
Who knew that hump was a
Uh,
mountain, right? What? You got over it like, oh god, there's more to come. Oh god.
yeah. And after I felt really bad. Like, I'll be honest.
Yeah, go for it, please.
I felt so down. I was like, you know what? This is the end of my Street Fighter career.
Wow, that down. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, I was. But then I thought about it, like, I watched the rest of the tournament. I saw Damsky beat Don and I was like, yes, go Damsky, go.
Because
Go
if you get beaten by
Damsky.
the one that wins the tournament, that's fine, right?
Yeah,
That's fine. That's
exactly.
my excuse. I got beat by
Right?
the champ. That's cool.
Like, I was cheering for Damsky to beat Don. Please. Please beat Don.
I got sent out by the guy that won. Yeah, that looks better on paper, right? And it's way bigger for it's much of a bigger, like, I wouldn't say a reason to, like, yeah, I
An
give it my
option
all.
select.
There we
It's an
go.
option select.
That's what I like about you, Doc Jimmy. Thank you for
It's an
taking the words
option
out of my
select.
mouth.
But it was still an option select for me because I literally just lost to the champion and the second place
Yeah,
guy.
third place.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Hmm.
after everything, I felt pretty good about myself. I mean, I just took a step back and I just looked at, not objectify. I looked at things objectively.
Yes, I objectified the tournament.
And last year, the year that James won, I came in fifth. And then the following year, I didn't play because I was
Yeah.
commentating. And then this year, from fifth, I got to third. And I was pretty close to getting into grand finals. So if I look at it objectively, right, like it's trending upwards.
Mm-hmm.
So I also like remembered another point in my fighting game career where I wanted to give up as well.
Wow.
That when was that? 2014. That was 2014.
Okay.
In a local event here in Davao. Shout out to the Davao community. It was like a top 8 invitational tournament, right? Throughout the year, we've had so many tournaments that year. And we had points and we had a ranking system and everything. And I was seeded third
Mm-hmm.
in that top 8 invitational. And I went up against my good friend Michael Lee. He's not that well known in the community nationally, but uh, he's a really, really solid player. Like Street Fighter 4 allows you to just play smart. You don't need the fancy combos. You don't need like all the tech.
Mm-hmm.
It's a game where you can win if you're just smart.
Okay.
And he was an extremely, extremely smart player. Uh, in Davao, we call that salto.
Salto.
It kind of means um, a wily veteran,
Mm.
right? You know how like in local barangay basketball games, like sometimes barangay counselors would play, and then they're
Mm.
just so smart,
Yeah.
like they would fake, and then all the young guys would jump. Oh no, sorry, and
Mm.
then they would make a shot. Like he's
Yeah.
cerebral in that
Okay.
sense, right?
Don't work harder, play smarter. Okay.
Exactly. He was that type of player. I lost to him 2-3
Ooh, close.
and went down to losers. And I fought another really strong local player here, Chammy. Shout out to Chammy. He's also a really strong Guilty Gear player. He mains Milia,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I lost to him 0-3 and I was out of the tournament. I was out of top 8.
Just like that.
It's
It's
0-2.
That's
And
cold.
after that, I
Mhm.
went to the I went to the casting booth and I said, you know what? I think my career is over.
Wait, you actually said that on stream? So if I
Yeah.
research, wow. Sweeping declaration by Doc Jimmy.
I don't know. I think one thing that I learned about myself is when I'm down, I don't think that's called self-destructing. I think it's kind of like you take the most you make the most negative decisions, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, maybe not destructive, but more on like I think you're just high on emotions that your
Yeah.
perspective is kind of skewed and it's very tunnel vision like that. It's the worst possible perspective. Uh,
Mhm.
how long was it before you got out of that? Like this, my career is over. That life ending, like decision. Did you like wake up the next day? Did you need to eat something? How long did it take you before like you know what? That wasn't too bad. You know what? This guy really deserved the win. So yeah.
I don't know. I kept rewatching and
Mm-hmm.
rewatching and rewatching. And that year, like,
Mm-hmm.
that was when I started getting into competitive Street Fighter. Like I moved from Cebu to Davao. And like I was bringing my Cebu training, right, in Street Fighter 4. Like,
Hey.
yeah, I played the best in Cebu. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I need to prove that I'm the best in this city. Like it has to be my first stepping stone. And that year, 2014, like the first tournament I joined, I fought Bidot,
Mm.
um, top player, one of the top players in Davao. That was our first encounter ever, our first of many encounters with this guy. And now he's a really good friend. Uh, he beat me 3-2, so I got second place in my first tournament. Oh yeah, pretty good, nice, right? And then the next tournament was in a mall. It's called the Mindanao Cyber Expo.
All right.
It's like one of the big like conventions in Mindanao. I made top four. Um, Loser side. Um, and I lost to my good friend Jabel, um, another Davao player,
Mm-hmm.
really solid. His Cody was amazing. Oh my god! So I got fourth, second, fourth. Okay, yay, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. And then there was another tournament. I got second. It was like a first to seven tournament. It was like, have you ever
Wow.
heard of the Japan event called Topanga?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we called it the Topanga style tournament because every
Mm-hmm.
match it was like round robin,
Yeah. All right.
first to seven each time. There was a
Nice.
scoring system. Shoutouts for Bidot for really making like
I feel like
Scooby Dot for
yeah. I feel like
making
tournaments should have that type of format. That's great. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's super fun. Like it lasted for about a whole month.
Nice.
And the finals went down to the last game. Like I was leading 6-5, right? And I had the tournament winning combo
Mm-hmm.
against another Davao player. His name is Louis. Shoutouts to Louis. The combo was crouching light punch. Oh, sorry, crouching light kick, crouching light
You
punch,
remember
crouching
the
heavy
combo? Oh
punch.
my god! All right.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like that's one of my bread and butter combos with Sakura.
Mm-hmm.
And the link from the light punch, because light punch gives you about 5 frames
Mm-hmm.
of like hit stun, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I did the 4 frame crouching heavy punch, and it missed.
Of all the times.
Had I hit that heavy punch, I could have gone into my CA. Well, that back then it was called an ultra combo. Could have
Mm-hmm.
gotten it. I could have won, but I lost. Went to the final game. I still lost in the final round, 7-6. I felt super bad. I was like, I really want to win a tournament this year. And then December that year was that top 8 tournament, and I lost 0-2. So like it was such a struggle for me.
Wow. Okay.
I felt like like I tried so many times, had so many opportunities. I'm never gonna win.
Oof. How would one get out of that type of rut though? Because how competitive fighting games here is in the Philippines, like it's kind of bold, like a really bold declaration, and like I want to win a tournament with killers like Dawn and you, and even in other like I mean AK Jules, like you know those hard hitters, right?
Right.
How did you get out of that mental state of like instead of focusing on winning and just focusing on yourself?
I took a new I think it was a change in mindset really. Because in 2014, I had this arrogant mindset. Like, um, I'm better than everyone.
Wow.
Though there's a way, like in a way, like it's a confident mindset, right? But being so new to fighting games at that time, um, it really it prevented me from learning other aspects of the game because back then I was all offense, 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 offense. I will overwhelm you with my offense,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
right? So like I'm better at you in offense. I'm just going to smother you. I'm just going to
Mm-hmm.
steamroll
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But when 2015 came, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna have fun. I just want to have fun with the game, and then at the same time, I want to learn to respect my opponents and see how that changes, my results.
Mm-hmm.
And when summer came, Bidot put on another really fun type of tournament. We had the summer league.
Hey, league style. Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
summer league.
Mm-hmm.
And it was everyone who signed up would be put into one bracket, and it's single elimination. Every matchup is first to 10.
Wow, you guys are crazy. Jesus Christ, you guys had time at your hands.
Oh, for sure. Like every weekend, we would go to Bidot shop. Shout out to his old shop, Option Select Gaming Station.
Sounds like a great
Uh,
shop. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was. But now it's just Bidot house. Just go to his house and play.
The house of option select. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So we like it was first attempt with everyone. I got to experiment with other characters. Um, and then there was another tournament. That was the first time we collaborated with
There we
PlayBook.
go. Boom.
That was the
Full
first time we
circle.
collaborated with PlayBook. We did the PlayBook CrossUp, right? Because
Oh.
we were doing so many tournaments in Davao, and I was posting so many tournament videos in the Street Fighter Philippines community. We kind of got noticed by
Hey.
my ninong, my forever boss, Richard Brohan.
Boss Brohan, let's go.
That was the first time we had, added him on Facebook. We became friends.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about that tournament was the winner was it the winner and the second place finisher, was it, or something like that, right?
Okay.
Would go on. Yeah, the winner and the second place would fly to um
Manila. Mm-hmm.
yes.
And face
What's it?
the
Oh, no, just the winner, just the one winner, along with Bidot, because Bidot
mm,
owned the shop.
mm.
He got an invite, and then the winner of that tournament would go to Manila.
All right.
So I was in losers finals,
Mm.
and I was playing my good friend Louis, who beat me in that first to seven tournament. And the thing was, he hadn't played since that tournament. I was like, okay, you know what?
Wow.
I think I got this. I think I could beat him. But he picked probably the cheapest character anyone can ever play in Street Fighter 4,
Uh-oh.
Elena.
Oh my god, really? What was he who
Yeah.
was he using before Elena? Elena?
Evil
Yeah.
Ryu.
Oh, okay.
Evil
Wow.
Ryu, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Elena, her Ultra 2 combo, aka her I don't know, her super, or
Mm-hmm.
well, in Street Fighter 4 you have super and then you
Yeah.
have ultra
Ultra.
combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the comeback mechanic which V Trigger replaced in
Mm-hmm.
5. Her Ultra 2 combo is healing.
Oh, that's cheap. Oh, that's cheap. Oh
And the thing in
no.
Street Fighter 4, there are moves that trigger a hard knockdown, so I mean you can't quick rise.
Mm-hmm.
If you get grabbed, if you get swept, that's a hard knockdown. You can't get up. So
Yeah.
every time you get swept or grabbed,
Heal.
healing. And she
Okay.
had the worst hitboxes. They were so awkward.
Yeah, because she has like a
Like her
capoeira
hitboxes were
stance.
so
Yeah.
low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was crazy. And it was my first time fighting Elena in a tournament, and I got washed. So he went on to the finals.
Oh. Okay.
And he actually beat Michael Lee, the Salto player, the wily,
Mm-hmm.
like
Barangay.
cerebral.
Like.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention his characters. He played Dalsim, he played Blanca, he played Guile. All super defensive characters.
Ooh. So no wonder. Yeah. Play smart. Like he just makes
Yeah.
you hang yourself. Okay.
Right. And what happened was Louis reset the bracket and he beat Michael Lee. So
Mm.
Louis was set to fly to Manila. to join the tournament. I was kind of disappointed. I really wanted to fly out. I really wanted to join. I wanted to play more players because I played Cebu players, I played Davao players. I really want to play Manila players. And back then, they were doing tournaments with Mineski.
Ooh,
So
okay.
Drew was there, James was there. The original PlayBook Street Fighter players, Aaron, Raymond, and um,
Give it a thought.
Tutski,
Yeah.
Tutski, Tutski. Yeah,
Tutski.
yeah.
Okay.
Etutz.
Mm-hmm.
They were the original playbook players, and they were amazing. Of course, Rodell,
Mm-hmm.
Bernard Tan, all these other guys, right? I really wanted to play them. Too bad, right?
Dang.
So, the thing was, Louis couldn't fly because he had work.
Mm-hmm.
Because he just got a new job. He can't take a leave of absence or anything. So, the the ticket went to Michael Lee. So they bought his ticket. It was
Mm-hmm.
Michael Lee. He was set to fly out with Bidot. And suddenly,
Uh-oh. Faith intervened. Fate. It's not faith. Fate. What happened?
Mike Lee could not go to Manila because he had, some personal issues that wouldn't allow him to. Like,
All right.
I was like, really?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Who's next in
Bidot messaged
line?
me. Bidot messaged me. The third place guy was in line. Happened to be me. I'm Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Third Place now, right?
Hey, man.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Bidot said, Jim, Mike Lee can't fly. Are you available? I was like, yeah, sure. But he said the ticket's in Mike Lee's name. I don't know if we can say this on stream, but we found, but we found.
Oh my God! Wait! Doc Jimmy, please repeat that. Oh no! Did we lose Doc Jimmy? Hang on for a sec, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Say it on stream. What?
I don't know if we can say this on stream, but the ticket was already under Michael Lee's name.
Mm-hmm.
I won't give you details, but we found a way that I could fly instead of Michael Lee.
Wow. You heard it first here, ladies and gentlemen. No salt allowed. I'm going to clip this moment. Cameras. I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. But wow. We're not going to know. We're not going to ask how you found ways, but you got to Manila. You got to the big show.
We just did. We found a way. It was super fun.
Mm-hmm. Super fun. Oh, okay. So yeah, you finally got to the big show. You got to the tournament. How was it?
It was extremely like okay. So the thing about traveling is I love the experience and the things that happen along the way. So the first thing me and Bidot, Scooby Dot had to think of was where are we going to stay? Because we've personally I haven't been to Manila since I don't know since I was a kid back then. We happened to have a friend who had a loft condo unit
Okay.
in what's that place called? Gramercy.
Gramercy. Okay, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
like, whoa, super high end, condo.
That's bougie
like that.
living. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Right? I think Piolo Pascual has a condo unit there or something. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised. Mm-hmm.
It was fun. We went there. Um, he let us crash. And the funny thing was, around that time there was also a thing going on in the NBA 2K community, and that was where
Wow.
I first met Caleb Rivera, who's now newly signed with the PlayBook Esports NBA 2K team.
Hey.
The Pro Am team. I met him there. They were from Gensan. So it was nice. I got to meet another community, right? They were having money matches, like
Wow.
40, 80, 100,000 money matches. Whoa, crazy.
Dang.
Anyway.
That's so foreign in the FGC. Jeez, that amount of money match? Oh my God.
NBA 2K, bro.
Yeah, that's a different community.
So me and Bidot and my friend had to travel to Parañaque from Makati. So it was my first time really traveling and commuting. Of course, we took the bus, right? We traveled along the Skyway. It felt like, biyaheng langit stuff. Like I'm gonna die.
Okay.
Just traveling so fast, right?
Uh-huh.
And we went to PlayBook, and that was also around the time that uh, Playbook signed Dawn. Dawn
Wow. Okay.
was already a member of Playbook when CrossUp came. So I got to meet Dawn for the first time in
Mm-hmm.
about a year or so. Right, so Dawn was there, and that this was in Playbook Pergola. I'm not sure if you've been able to go there
I've
before.
seen it. Yeah, it was a nice nook. I think now it's a haircut place or something where you get
Yeah, it
right.
is. But it just felt like home. Like
Mm.
Playbook Pergola was legit, right? Like amazing ambiance. Um, like Richard and Chris, them being architects, like
Yeah.
they really decked the place out. It was super cool. I got to play with everyone for the first time. And then of course you have to go back to Makati. Um, and then come back the next day. So we're like, okay, I know how to get there.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to go through heaven again.
So you call it heaven? Okay.
Biyaheng langit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, take the Skyway ride. What was the bus? Sukat? Yeah, the
Yeah,
Sukat
at the
bus.
exit, yeah, at the Sukat, and then you'd be
Yeah,
close to
and then
Pergola.
Paranaque,
Mm-hmm.
and then we would ride a jeep all the way to SMBF, and then we take a
BF to
tricycle
to
into BF
President, yeah.
Homes,
Mm-hmm.
Pergola Mall.
There you
Ah, I
go.
miss the place.
Mm-hmm.
So there were about, I think, 34-ish participants
Mm-hmm.
for Street Fighter 4. We had the Mega Mall boys. We had the Fairview boys. So they
Wow,
traveled
that's
from
so
Fairview all the way to
far.
Pergola.
Oh my god. Okay.
Don was there. Of course, the Paranaque boys, the Makati boys, like the time zone Glorieta people,
Mm-hmm.
like, they were there. Um, and I forgot who I lost to in winners. Actually, I want to pull up the bracket
Oh
because
wow,
I
the
don't know.
bracket's still out.
I love
Okay.
telling I love telling these stories.
Hey, this is the point of the podcast. For those of you listening, we got to archive these moments because in these weird times, offline isn't still a thing. You gotta remember why we're passionate about this community. So thank you, Doc Jimmy, for telling us the story. And please, did you pull up the bracket already?
I found it. Yeah, I
So
can send you the link. Maybe you might
mm.
want to put it up on stream or something.
Oh,
I don't.
that is good. Let me hang on. I gotta turn stuff up. But yeah, please talk to them while I set up studio mode.
Yeah. So the first people that I actually met in Playbook were the Cavite boys. The Cavite boys were there.
Wow.
Bombi,
Mm-hmm.
Eric, and a whole
Okay.
bunch of other players from Cavite. They were there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Bombi, who's now a super successful Genshin Impact streamer, shoutouts to Bombi,
Okay.
was a really solid Dalsim and Yun player. Um, and he was my first matchup in the brackets, and I managed to beat him 2-1.
By the way, where did you
Uh,
send it? Can you send it on Messenger so I could pull it up?
oh, yeah, sweet. Okay, let me do
Mm.
that. Chijing,
Okay, thank you. So Bombi, first matchup, Yun and
right?
a Dalsim player. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then in the second round, I went up against none other
Oh,
than James.
James himself when he was an embryo.
James.
Oh,
He was
good
like
lord.
14,
Yeah,
15. I don't know. I don't know how old he was here.
God.
But
Okay.
he rocked Balrog and I got washed 2-0.
Oh God, it's Balrog with James's style.
Yeah,
Ugh.
right. And then when I got knocked down into losers, I fought another Tropang Cavite. They called him JackBacoor because he's from Bacoor, Cavite.
Okay.
But Jackie Chen, shout outs to Jack. Super miss him.
Okay, I got it.
And his
I got it up already. Okay, so I'm
okay,
gonna
sweet.
transition, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Yeah.
Boom. This is the bracket we're looking at now.
It went down into losers. I fought Jack.
So yeah,
Who
Bombi,
did he
James
main?
2-0. Oof.
Forgot who he mained back then. I think it was something like Yun or Cammy. I forgot.
Okay, so I
But
see
I managed
here.
to beat him 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
And then my
Mm-hmm.
next matchup was against Bidot. Now,
Yep.
if you look at the bracket, right, that result, I did not expect that result at all because
2-0.
every time
Yeah.
me and Bidot would play in Davao, he would always beat me.
Mm.
And if you look at the replay, because Playbook actually archives the matches, if you look at the
Nice.
replay, when I beat Bidot,
Mm-hmm.
I was in disbelief and I was just like that. Like, oh my god,
Wow.
I can't believe I won. But if you look at it, you think, wow, Jimmy lost, Bidot won.
Wow, Bidot's playing soccer? That's weird. That's
It
funny.
was crazy. Like I've never beaten Bidot, and it felt sad, because it was Davao versus Davao. We
Mm-hmm.
flew there together to be awkward on the flight back, right? Um, on the bus trip back, the overnight stay at
Mm-hmm.
Gramercy, going to the airport, coming back home. Like it would feel awkward, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I managed to beat him somehow. I don't know how I did it, but I managed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went up against Coke.
Yes.
Uh, Shout outs to Coke, super strong cabin player. Um, it was super close. I managed to beat him 2-1. Like in casuals, I was losing to him badly, but somehow I was able to pull it off,
Mm-hmm.
right? And boom, top eight. Oh my god, I'm in top eight in
Let's
my
go.
first.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe the progress I was making. Um, and then I went on to face Reden. Shout outs to Reden, or like probably one of the best players from Mega Mall. He mains Rose,
Okay.
and like I it was if you look at the score, it was super close as well.
Two
If
to
you watch the
three. Yep.
replay, it was back and forth. And when I finally pulled off the win, I let
Y-
out a huge scream.
Yeah. Can you duplicate that, please? You don't
I don't
have
know,
to.
or
You're like,
something. I don't
all
know,
right.
but it was like at the top of my voice. Like, wow, I can't believe I beat this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And funny, if you look above that bracket,
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Parallelisms.
James versus Don. James beat Don 3-2. After
Oof.
that tournament, we called James the Don Killer.
Wow.
And then in my next matchup, I went on to face Bernard.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Super close too.
a very
By the way, sorry, I just want to
yeah.
could you send me the link to this and I'll post it in the description of this video because I think people would definitely want to watch back and look at these moments and look at you like beating Bidot. Like what did Doc Jimmy lose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll,
Okay.
I'll send the links over.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Okay.
Probably in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I lost to Bernard. Because he was super cheap with Vega. Like I knew how to counter his wall jumps, but somehow, like every 50-50, he just got me.
Dang. Oh,
Even the
that's so annoying.
commentators were
I could hear it. They go, oh no.
even the commentators were like, "Come on, Bernard, show some respect."
How dare
it
you?
was, I wanted to laugh while playing,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I was so serious about it. But he
Oof.
eventually picked Elena, and he
Uh-huh.
beat me. So I ended up fifth in my first tournament.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
right, and I think that event, an event that I was not supposed to go to,
Mm-hmm.
kind of springboarded my career.
Dude.
Because as soon as we flew back from Manila,
Mm-hmm.
remember the summer league, the first 10 summer league that was happening?
Yeah.
I was scheduled to face Bidot,
Ooh, okay.
right?
I'm gonna
And that,
transition to us now, okay? Like we're
yeah,
and by the way,
I
it's Bernard that won this tournament, so
yeah, Bernard won.
that's nothing to feel
Super
bad about. Yeah.
solid. Up
Mhm.
against Etutz, though both of them are super defensive players. It was Guile versus Blanca.
Jesus Christ.
It was such a mind game, chess game. That
Uh-huh.
match is one for the books. Actually,
Uh-huh.
definitely like looking back on that. I watch that every time I get the chance.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite match from that set or from that tournament is actually James versus Don because I just love seeing Don lose.
Oh, you're still firing bullets, Jimmy. Pew 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 pew, shooting his shot against these guys. What are you guys gonna
Yeah,
do?
and
Mm-hmm.
and then so it was first to 10 with Bidot. The Davao community was buzzing.
Okay.
Like I made a status before the tournament. I beat him in Manila. Can I beat him in Davao?
Okay.
And everyone was like, "Oh my god!" And the
Hype.
option select was packed. Like during the day, everyone was playing their games,
Mm-hmm.
and when me and Bidot were up to play, everyone just stopped playing. They lined up their seats like it was a movie theater,
Oh my god.
and they just watched our first to 10.
But there was no bad blood, right? You guys, I mean, you
Oh
guys
no, no,
travel all together. Okay, cool. This is definitely out
yeah,
of
because
competition.
our trip to Manila actually like made us pretty close. Like we were friends. We had that respect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, yeah, I'm helping out the Davao community. Because back then I would do the streaming for Davao. I did their
Mm.
graphics.
Oh,
I
let's
did the
go.
commentary. I made the posters for the event. So we had that relationship already. But I think traveling just deepened that relationship because
Nice.
we got to talk about family, um, about our beliefs and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I don't know. Traveling to events is just a great way to like bond with people,
Yeah,
and that's
the
something I
car
really
rides to
miss.
an event, like I don't know. For me, it's not more in competing, but like shout out to like Pika and my other commentators. Like when we travel to an event, it's like you develop that bond, that brotherhood, and I totally get that, and that's what I miss of the offline, man. Like
True,
memories of
true.
the old world. So how'd that first to
Yeah.
10 go? We're rounding
Uh,
out to the final minutes though, but yeah, please tell me
yeah.
about it.
So first 5 games were extremely close. It was 5-5.
Dang. Okay.
Everyone was just going wild. But somehow during those first 10 games, I somehow managed to get a read on him and understand his gameplay, and I was able to set up like these things with Sakura. And I won 10-5.
Whoa, you stopped it at 10? Okay, you stopped it at 5.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it as well. I had to go out and get some air.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually it like I got into the semifinals. I was facing Mike Lee, the guy who was supposed to go to the CrossUp tournament.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't in a really good spot,
Mm-hmm.
like mentally, but he still went to play, and I
Okay.
really respect him for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I beat him, and then I was in the finals up against another player. He's currently known in the community as Arbok X.
Okay. Arbok X.
Arbok X. That
Like
that
what?
name has a ring to it.
I was
I
thinking
don't know.
of the Pokemon. Okay.
Yeah, Arbok. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Arbok,
okay. Then there's an
but with an
X.
X
Oh,
at the
okay.
end. Yeah.
Arbok X. Okay.
Yep. And I beat him, and I finally got my first championship
Boom.
in Davao.
That's how it's done. And
It
in the first to 10 tournament, dude. That's no easy feat.
Yeah, it like I was extremely elated because I have never won a tournament since I started playing Street Fighter 4. I practiced Sakura's combos. I was learning, changing mindsets and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And finally it paid off. And it
Mm.
continued to pay off in the following two tournaments. Mindanao Cyber Expo again. I was able to win that.
Hey, let's go.
And when Manila Cup came, I got signed by PlayBook. So
Mm.
like going back, we've really went off on a tangent, but going back to my Rev Major result,
Mm-hmm.
I just remembered that. Like I remember the struggle that I went through to get my
Mm-hmm.
first local championship. So I think I'm on the road to getting my first national championship
Let's
if I
go.
just
Mm-hmm.
if I just continue.
Stay
I don't know
true.
if it's
Stay
gonna
to the
happen.
path.
Like
Hey.
no one knows what the future holds. Maybe Street Fighter 6 when it comes out. I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just remembered that, and then now I have a new renewed sense of purpose and
Let's go.
motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm thinking, you know what? When Rev Major comes around this year, I'm gonna try to win it again.
Let's
I'm
go.
gonna try
Okay.
to win it. You know.
I can't wait, dog. And if it was kind of weird not having you on the desk, but if you playing, it's definitely a lot of hype sets. Now, two questions before I let you go. First, any advice you want to give any new player coming into this? Because you had, I would say, a wealth of experience. I'll ask the second question later. It's related to Street Fighter 6, but yeah, go for the first one, though.
Don't stop improving. Like results, in some ways they do matter, but they should not matter to you. Like purely focus on self improvement. Um, and once you get to a point that you're better than you were yesterday, get better than that, and eventually things are going to they're going to add up. And
Mm-hmm.
if a championship, if a win comes, And great, that's a bonus. But the real win is not only have you developed yourself as a fighting game player, but you've developed yourself as a person for persevering through the challenges. So
That's beautiful. Well said, Doc. Great prescription you're giving to people. And Street Fighter 6, any thoughts on that? Because I know it's like the hot topic of what people like. What's going to happen? Oh my God, Luke, he's the future now. What are we doing?
funny, I don't have Luke Street Fighter 5. I haven't bought him.
Okay, that's good. You told me that because I was gonna ask you how does because like when I was watching like Capcom Cup and stuff, or like a Street Fighter League, everyone's
Yeah.
Luke. What's going on? Like he's really like he looks super strong.
Yeah, high damage,
Mhm.
great movement, great normals. Like his range, it moves him forward, right?
Yeah,
It. Some would say, it puts him in danger because you're moving forward. But
but
then
that's the
again,
game. That's his game plan though. He wants to get in your face.
yeah, his fireballs are crazy. Oh my
Right? Like,
goodness.
is that instant? Like, it seems so
It
fast.
feels
Yeah, boom.
instant. It's
Like, what
it's
the hell?
way better than EX Sonic Boom.
Yeah, it's like there's a travel time for that, but it's like it's jab then, oof. And his V
It's like
trigger, right?
Jiren.
His V
Yeah.
trigger stays with him until he gets hit, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
deplete. So it's like, wow, this character, he's the future. He's the future of the franchise.
So
So yeah,
I actually I
thoughts?
checked some rumors. I
Yeah,
checked some
thoughts.
rumors online.
I would rephrase the question: thoughts and wishes for Street Fighter 6.
I hope it's a better game.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think Capcom really needs to nail this because not just like giving us a complete game, because Street Fighter 5 when it came out, it was not a complete game. It really disappointed a lot of people. But
I would say there are
it
like
has to
three
be.
strikes, right? It was MBCI, Tekken.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry, I
no.
had to bring it up. We're bringing it up. Street Fighter X Tekken. It's a good game, but it was filled with a lot of what are those gems? Oh, I
Yeah.
wasn't even big on the scene yet. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, it seems like incomplete. So unfortunately, it was that. Then MBCI, and then Street Fighter, a very incomplete game.
NBCI.
So I agree with you. They really need to nail this, and I think they will. I have confidence that they will nail it already.
Yeah, they were supposed to put out a trailer in 2021, but
Mm, pandemic?
the game testers, they weren't satisfied with one of the mechanics. 'Cause it's in development. It's in development.
Oh,
They
okay.
weren't satisfied with the mechanic that they were building the game around.
Mm-hmm.
So they delayed the announcement,
All right.
and then they gave the fifth season pass for Street Fighter. So I think Luke was gonna be one of the first characters in Street Fighter 6. So
So,
they decided to put him as the final DLC for Street Fighter 5.
so they decided to make him like the tester and see how it goes. Maybe he has one of the core
Probably.
mechanics, right? Who knows?
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, when a game gets delayed for me, it's a bittersweet thing because it's like maybe you know what they're delaying it for a reason, guys. Let's not get an incomplete game. I'm talking about
I
you,
mean,
Cyberpunk.
from from experience, right? With Street Fighter 5 when it first came out. Yes, please delay it. If you feel like it's not a good game to release, please delay it because we've seen the results. We've
Yeah,
seen what happens.
and you could have prolonged Street Fighter 4. You could have prolonged the life of that, right? Just
That's what I wanted.
have.
Like I was getting into like all the tech. Like there was so much more. There was so much tech being discovered every day for Street Fighter 4. I was
Mm-hmm.
starting to learn it and apply it. Option selects, proximity, option selects, like
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But I've completely forgot that.
Yeah, because like 5 came out, so yeah, that's a good wish for the game, and hopefully, it is a better game. Doc, I really have to have you on again to talk about
I
Street
love
Fighter
to.
6. Yeah, I know this was a supersized episode. There was a lot to say, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people enjoy it. Any last words
I
you
hope
have to say
so.
before we close out the show?
Um, thank you everyone for supporting the fighting game community. I think it's one of the most fun communities in the gaming scene. Thank you, Poch, for having me on. Thank you for doing No Salt Allowed. Subscribe, guys. You have to
Thank you.
subscribe, please.
Hmm.
You'll be seeing me more, I hope.
Yeah, you will. They will. They will. Yeah. Is that all? Any other things you want to say? You be streaming when you coming back from
Um,
the hiatus?
I will start streaming probably as soon as I get my video card. It's still
Okay.
in customs. I actually
Ah.
got a letter yesterday, 2 days ago, to pay the tax. I thought it was already at the post office,
Oh
but
no.
no,
Yeah.
I had to pay first, and then they'll send it over. So I'll
Jeez.
probably start streaming soon.
Okay. Cool. Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5.
Anything. But mostly fighting games probably.
All right, that's I would look forward to that. Guys, the links to Doc Jimmy's socials are in the description. So are the tournament videos that he is talking about. Thank you guys so much again for tuning in. If you guys have stayed with us till the very end, again, big shout outs to Steady Threads Clothing for being our clothing sponsor here on the No Salt Allowed podcast. Thank you so much again, Doc Jimmy, and we'll see you guys next time on No Salt Allowed. Peace.